this video, we're going to go over setting up your Microsoft Exchange backups within Cloud Ally. So the first thing we're going to do is log through to the client application. Once there, we're going to go into Add Backup Task, and we're going to select Microsoft Exchange. Here, we're going to give it a name, and we'll use the OAuth-based authorization. We should have already set the application impersonation. If not, please go back and watch that video and set that up. Once you do that, confirm that your application impersonation is set up and authenticate. This will take you out to Microsoft to show you a list of permissions to accept. We need that accepted in order to access the Exchange data so that we can back it up and do restores. Once that's set up, if I come back to the home page, I've got one already set up here. We'll go into the Acme Exchange backups. So once it's set up and authenticated, you get a little green connected box up here. And then we're going to go through and we automatically discover all the email mailboxes that are associated with the tenant. So you can see that I've discovered them all. And there's a couple of settings that we're going to want to configure really quick. Backup and license accounts, that's clearly backing up any of the shared mailboxes or any mailbox that doesn't have a Microsoft license. You're going to want to include those. You can change the retention for your auto archive backups. So if someone is off-boarded, we'll discover that they've been off-boarded, and you can change the retention period for that. And you can set this to a time period that works for you just by putting in the number of days here. Automatically activate new mailboxes. This is the one that as a new user is added, we'll discover that mailbox and we'll start backing it up for you. There's no need to go in and worry about making any changes to doing that. I'll come back to bulk activation in a moment. We've got our backup frequencies here. There's daily, every 3 days, and weekly, and your backup hours based on the unified time clock offset. I recommend setting a different time for each of the services that you want to back up in your Microsoft tenants so that we're not making too many API calls back into Microsoft when we're doing that. Bulk activation is pretty straightforward. Click on a new activation rule. Once there, you can create them by Active Directory setting, 365 groups, or you can import a list of accounts to automatically activate. So we're going to go on, let's select Director AD settings, and we'll click Next. Now I can search for a property. I've got a number of properties that I can take a look at. So we're going to take a look. Let's go for Account Enabled. And once I do that, it's going to take me to this list here. So I've got True is account enabled, and I can select Next and go ahead and do that. I can also go in and select a different parameter. Let's say city, and I can take a look at some of the various cities that we've got listed. I can select Next, and then all the users in those locations will come up, and I can automatically activate them at that point. If I go back, let's go back again to Microsoft 365 groups, and I'll select that and then move on to Next. It's going to give me a list of groups that I can use. Let's go with Ariella and ML team and select Next. And now you'll see that I've got another list of accounts based on the group that I can automatically activate. So that'll happen as soon as I select Activate. Those users' backups will automatically be activated. Alternatively, once I've got this configured up top and I've selected Save over here, I can close this window and I can come down and select Mailbox. That'll select all of them if I just want to do all the mailboxes that I have. Please note that if it's over 250 mailboxes, you'll want to do the bulk activation process. Select Action and Activate. That will allow your backups to start running for all the users that you've selected. Now in here as well, you'll see that we've got the mailbox, the email address. We have some tags. Tags are custom, and you can put that in. That's a free-form field that you can add. You can see the status. So I've got some here that are not active, some that are successful and paused. You can see that I've got a backup right now, an ad hoc backup that's running at the moment. And if I hover over that, I can get an idea of what's happening in that one on the current backup. As well as the status, I've got the size of the backup. I have the last backup. So if it's the first time you're doing it, this will be blank. And then I can activate or pause, and I have ad hoc backup now. So I can run a backup now for this particular mailbox. So if I select that, it's going to kick off a backup for this account. And once it's done, that'll be the latest backup for that one. Now again, if I hover over top of that, you can see that I've got calendars, contacts, tasks, emails, and notes that are going to be backed up, and you can see a little bit of a status as to what's happening there. This section here is for recovery. This is a full mailbox recovery tool that you can use, and we'll go through that in a later video. The other thing that I want to show you is there's this little down arrow here. Now, if I select that down arrow, you're going to get a brief synopsis of what's happening in this particular environment. So you can see that I've got tasks, notes, contacts, emails, and calendars all set up in here. And this is a fairly large mailbox. So you can see that at a glance, I know how many items I've got backed up, what the status is on each of these. And I've got a window up here. This gives me a quick 30-day view as to what's happening in this window. And I can hover over the bar here. And when I have something new, you can see what's coming into this account. So on December 21st, I had 16,751 new emails. I've had a bunch of new contacts, a lot of calendar entries, tasks, and notes. So it's found all of this information, and it's scheduled to be backed up. Now you can see that I've got a partial fail here with notes and emails. So what I can do at this point is I can run an activate on this and back it up. Now for this particular account, I'm not backing up. It's paused. I paused it because of those failures that we saw earlier. So that is the backup of Microsoft Exchange. Thanks very much. Appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Please stay tuned for more.